Hey everyone, welcome back to Power Word Crit. We're on episode 12?
Yeah, can you believe it?
Yeah, episode 12, everyone.
Wow.
It is incredible.
I'm ready for our next arc.
Yeah, this is the beginning of the new one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the beginning. Last week was more of an interlude into it, but we're ready to hit the ground running.
Hit the road again.
I mean, it's nice to give us at least a little moment before we go and die again. Get trampled underfoot again.
But David, this time we're level 3. We
It's
got
true.
this.
You guys all leveled up.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows the truism of D&D. The higher level you are, the easier it is.
Yes.
Yep.
That.
So backing up just a little
Skeptical
bit.
glance.
So backing up just a little bit, I'm Corrin. I am your dungeon master, and with me I have 4 admirable, lovely voice actors with me. They are...
I'm Kayla, and I'm playing Celestine Peacechild.
I'm Andrew, and I'm playing Wesley Eldridge.
I'm Ashlyn. I am playing Izzy Welkenmov.
I'm David, and I am playing Lord Usaker von Pride.
So as David mentioned earlier, you guys are level 3.
Woohoo!
So let's just take a moment at the beginning to talk about what happens at level 3. Some of you guys get some really cool stuff. So let's start. Celestine, what happens with you?
I get hit points.
I think we all do.
Yes.
I get second level spells.
That's pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome.
Don't discount
Oh yeah,
that.
no, I'm
You
not
get
discounting.
spare
it.
the
I get-
dying.
Yes, I get
repose.
gentle repose.
Oh, sorry. You already
I know,
have spare
I
the
keep getting
dying.
those confused too.
I know.
Yes, I finally have gentle repose,
All those
which
corpse-related
for no good reason is
spells.
one of my favorite spells as a cleric. I don't know why though. It just
It's because we keep needing it.
Is there anything else that Celestine gets?
nope.
at
That
level
was
3?
it.
Cool.
So the only spell you took was the gentle repose?
No, I have the whole list.
Oh, okay.
So
Clerics are fancy like that.
currently,
I've never played a cleric, so I did not know
Celestine
that.
will be preparing it at dawn in the morning when we wake up.
Oh, good.
Done.
At dawn?
At dawn, we cast spells.
Oh, wait.
Prepare spells.
Oh, okay. But
Am
we'll
I
also...
allowed to prepare spells, or is that sensor that was stolen a really important part of that?
No, I believe
Focus.
it's just praying. You have to
Okay.
take meditation and prayer.
Okay, good.
And
Okay.
it's like 1 minute per level.
Okay, then we're good. Okay.
So
Per level spell slot or per level of your character?
first level spell slot, that's how long it takes to prepare it.
Oh.
technically.
This is doable.
in the
okay.
book.
I can do
Holy
this.
heavens. So, like, if you have your 9th level spell slot,
Takes a while.
like, oh boy.
It used to
That's a
be like
couple
an
of,
hour
9
per
minute-
level or something. I forget what.
You
There's
spent
But
all day
it
preparing
could
your ninth
potentially
level.
take you multiple days to re-prepare your spells. I forget
Wow.
how long it was exactly.
That's
But back in
insane.
like early
Really neat.
editions, once you
can
cast
change
your
it.
spells, you did not get them all back the next day.
Oh my gosh.
Whew,
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Wesley, what'd you get?
So as a sorcerer, because I am a sorcerer, not by a bard, as some of you may have believed by my violinist
You're just
antics
a
previously.
sorcerer with bard-like tendencies?
Yeah,
Well, musical tendencies.
musical tendency. I can be musical without being a bard.
It's true.
And
And
you can
so
be a bard without being musical.
yes, that's a thing.
Semantics.
So the sorcerer is that my 3rd level, I get meta magic. I have chosen a heightened spell, which makes when enemies have to make saving throws to resist my spell effects, I can impose disadvantage on them so that they roll poorly, and my spell is more likely to go into effect. I also have quickened spell, which means I can cast it faster using a bonus action and potentially casting another spell,
Nice.
in addition to a handful of other spells that I received, which we will see in play.
Awesome. Do you also get second level spells?
I do, yes.
Nice. Nice. Izzy, what did you get?
So, I took a level in sorcerer. I'm just kidding.
Ooh, unexpected.
I just wanted those spells, guys.
Yeah.
No, I took another level in fighter. At 3rd level, I choose my martial archetype. I am not going to reveal that here, though, because it may play into the story.
Ooh.
Is there anything else that Izzy gets at level 3?
No, she's very boring. I'm sorry.
Oh, she's not boring.
No, but her level up is boring.
You get an
She
archetype.
makes up for it with her personality.
There we go.
And she
She's
gets hit
got a
points.
lovely
And
hit
personality.
points.
Don't discount those hit points.
Yeah. All right. Usarker, what did you get?
Well, I went ahead and continued the path that I was on, which meant that I continued to get fighter things. In this case, that means Battle Master. They haven't given me the 4th edition Warlord yet, so Battle Master is the closest that we're going to get.
All right. So, congratulations on your level up. Let's just do a recap of what happened last time. The dawn broke, and you all saw the devastation of Greenest. Wesley, you did learn that your family is okay and was staying at the Jam Jars. Unfortunately, the shop was destroyed, and your violin is missing.
It's a travesty.
A true travesty. You also learned that Erica's family was killed, except her sister is still missing.
So, like, that her parents were found, but dead.
Correct.
Okay.
Their bodies
Your
were
mother
found.
found them.
Yeah.
But her sister still, there's no word of what happened to her. Izzy learned that Kurt was an aspiring poet and was also stunned to find out that the ransom letter, was written in Jaden's own hand. Celestine, you helped the guards relocate people, while Wesley and Izzy met old Ned, who knew a guy who could probably try to track Jaden down.
Please.
Usarker, you ended up talking with Governor Nighthill and his guards and convinced the governor that you could help the town by seeking help from Berdusk against the cultists. That being said, you guys all, reconvened, thought out your options, and then you ended up bedding down for the night. And then you leveled up.
Magical things happen.
While you sleep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yes, indeed.
This is why it's important to sleep, everyone.
Some
and
people
get enough of
dream,
it.
some people sleepwalk, some people level up.
Yeah.
I understand that, you get that noise, the Zelda noise. Da-da-da-da.
Yep.
You wake up from your sleep. I feel different.
You've
I feel
collected 4 heart
healed.
containers.
Yeah, there's that.
So, the dawn approaches. I believe you guys decided to stay at the Pillow Forts
Yes.
instead of the Jam Jars, right?
Yep.
Pillowfort,
Yep.
Is that their actual last name?
Yes.
Or is it?
Sure.
Okay.
It is now.
Yeah, I know that they have lots of
They have
pillows.
lots
Lots
of
of pillows.
She made it sound that way at the end of the episode, but it wasn't very clear.
Yeah. You guys called it the Pillow Forts, and so I
Yep.
was like, sure, why not?
Okay.
I
I mean,
definitely-
it's not out of the realm of possibility.
The Jam
Now we-
Jars and the Pillow Forts. So, you guys have woken up at the Pillow Forts house. What would you like to do?
Begin our quest, of course.
Yep.
We got to get on the road.
So Usarker did not stay with us at the Pillar Forts?
Lord Usarker
No.
deftly dodged the young
that's right.
child
There's a certain child
who
he's
was
avoiding.
spreading
Oh, that's
rumors about
right.
him being a vampire.
Kyle is here.
He's hiding. He won't tell you he's hiding. I don't know how he would describe it, but he's hiding.
He's making a tactical retreat.
No. He just happens to be cloistered in his room, and he's writing in his journal and books, recording all the details and facts that he can remember about the encounter, so that he can then rehearse them with the party at some later date and learn from our mistakes. And our good decisions.
Oh joy, we're going to have a I can't think of the word, so never mind.
Yes, there will be much joy when you use this knowledge in order to survive the next fight.
I
Okay.
was thinking of like those review sessions that like football
Oh,
football players have to go through with their coaches to see what they did wrong and see the different playbooks of other teams
Oh, yeah.
to
Fun.
improve their own abilities.
We like sports ball. We know all this stuff.
I definitely do not. my lack of knowledge is clearly showing here.
All right. So you all wake up and you guys meet up.
Have our supplies been readied by the town?
You didn't actually ask for anything. They said that they would offer it to you, but you guys discussed among yourself what you wanted, but you didn't actually ask them what you needed.
So much for an early start.
Oops.
yep.
Well, it's all right.
Izzy's fine. I'm ready to go, guys.
I need food. Travel
Yeah.
ration.
I mean, there are
I think
some rations
horses
in
might
my
be a
bag.
good idea.
May have used mine on the way to the battlefield and on the way back from the battlefield.
I
Okay,
saw
we
that
can
they
get
had
you
an
rations before I
excellent
came here.
carriage in town, which would be wonderful since we have a corpse to carry.
Oh.
Oh, that too.
Oh, yeah. Wait, did you tell
Man,
that?
logistics.
I can't remember now.
The thing.
Okay. Oh, yeah. We are carrying Kurt.
Oh,
That is now in character.
I'm remembering back in, I have no idea which episode, it was a while ago. We picked up money
You did.
from the water mill
Oh, yeah.
and
did.
from the river.
We
Mhm.
each got, like, what? 20?
25 gold from the water and then 37 from the mill. As much as it would be wonderful to keep the money, meta-wise, I want to keep the money. I really do. But I'm playing a cleric.
Not all clerics
Not
have
all
to be lawful.
clerics do are no. Not
I
all
mean,
clerics
or
are.
Have
But
taken
given
a
everything
vow
that's
of
happened
poverty
here,
either.
given everything that's happened here, given everything they've lost, and given the fact that it actually was, I know it was theirs in the first place, I'm gonna find Governor Nighthill and I'm gonna give him the money back.
All right. So Governor Nighthill is still at the keep. The town looks to be a little bit more organized today. This is day 2. They look,
Rested. Some of them.
some of them look a little rested. People are starting to discuss amongst themselves who has food rations, because they're going to have to figure out how to feed themselves since things were destroyed. It looks like a bunch of the damage, a significant portion of the easy damage has been cleared away, so there's pathways that you guys can easily go through.
Oh, good.
So getting to the keep is actually fairly simple. It doesn't take any time at all.
Mhm.
And when you get there, you see Governor Nighthill. He is rubbing his eyes, and he's sitting at a table in the middle of the keep. And at this point, there's no civilians inside the keep beyond those that are doing like food counts, checking rations, things like that.
I am with Celestine, by the way.
Okay.
So I'm not encouraging other people to give money. Celestine just feels very strongly about it, especially after seeing the families who are going to go without and have to figure out how to provide food for their kids.
Okay.
So,
Where do you think Erica ended up?
Was her house destroyed?
or is she at the jam jars? Sleepover.
Talking with your mother
Mhm.
that first night that you were at the jam jars, she didn't really go inside, but it did look like your street was very pilfered.
Yeah.
I think that's the right word, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very pilfered, lots of damage, glass broken. She could have gone to her house, but chances are she was probably relocated somewhere.
Okay. I think that Wesley probably went to go track her down
Okay.
while you guys figured out logistics
Okay,
a little bit.
cool. So we'll do the Governor Nighthill stuff first, and then we'll go to Wesley. How's that sound? Okay, so you guys see Governor Nighthill. He's at the table. He's looking at a map, and he has that general that Usurker saw yesterday, and they're kind of leading it over, and they're putting tack marks down, marking things. As you approach, the general goes, Usurker, welcome back.
Lord Nighthill, it is a pleasure to see you again. I look at him and examine him to see if he looks like he took any sleep.
Nice to see you too. He does look like he got a little bit of sleep.
Good. Then I will not press the issue.
He still looks super exhausted. He may, just because you have a high medical level, he probably got maybe 4 hours of sleep max. So.
Good.
Yeah. Thank you. General Greer, would you give us just a moment? And she nods her head and walks away. He stands up and he looks at the three of you and he says, Thank you so much for all of the help that you guys have done to this town. If you are still willing, I would ask that you deliver a message for me to Berdusk. Would you guys still be able to do this?
Well, we haven't lost our stomachs since the last time we spoke, Governor. I believe that the intention we had was to take your young lad, Wesley, who is from town and has a good voice on him, and have him be your representative.
Right.
Is Wesley with us right now?
No, he's
He's
looking
not.
for Erica.
Before you leave, just have him come to me and I'll give him an official document proving who he is. I propose, if it's all right with you guys, I will offer you 250 gold pieces each to deliver this message. And he hands you kind of like, it's not a letter, it's kind of like a packet. It's a big packet and it's wax sealed with his monogram on there.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh-wee.
And he says, we need help, as you can see. We have sent out carrier pigeons to the surrounding areas and the other towns near us. It looks like they were hit as well, so
Oh.
unfortunately they
That's
cannot
unfortunate.
give us aid. Celestine, you passed by on your way to Greenest.
Mm-hmm.
You know that these towns are maybe 50 people. We're talking
Okay, they're dinky.
super tiny.
They're basically 2 families.
Yeah. 2 families. There's 51, like, they just had a baby, so there's now 51 in one of the towns.
Whee!
So, I mean, very, very small.
Within the week, they'll be back down to 50 as the oldest
Aw.
person passes away peacefully
They
in their
like-
sleep.
They like to keep it at
Peacefully.
50. They like to keep it at 50. Nice round 50.
Or, one of them just moves out because they had enough of small town life.
Exactly.
Governor Nighthill, I'm not a mercenary. I've seen mercenary work before, having done some service with the Flaming Fist in a somewhat ancillary role. Nor do I need to be paid like a mercenary. I am a lord myself, and so I personally would not feel comfortable taking the cash from you that you are offering. I cannot speak for the rest of my party. I will, however, take payment in the form of certain supplies that we may need for our journey. We have a body to carry, and I would request, I think I saw a carriage around here, that if we could make use of that, and the horses to
And the
pull
horse.
it,
Yes, please.
that
we need a
would
horse.
be very valuable as far as I am concerned.
I'm not pulling the
I
carriage.
cannot, of course, speak for the rest of my party.
Of course. However, your hesitancy to take the payment is admirable. However, and he gestures to General Greer, as you now know the woman is, and he just says, "Can you please bring the official book?" And she's like, "Yes, sir." And she disappears for a few moments into a room.
Where's Esteban?
Yes.
He hasn't been
Escobar.
summoned
I
by
meant
name.
Escobar.
Where's Escobar?
Have you asked for Escobar?
No.
No,
just
this just seems like something Escobar
Go
might
ahead,
do.
go ahead and make a perception check for
Okay.
Escobar.
Escobar is meanwhile living in his pocket dimension.
Yes.
That's fact.
Unseen Major Domo?
going on the corner? Okay. Perception 8.
Just glancing around, you don't really see any short people. You don't see a dwarf running around. You don't see bright red hair. He could be here. You just don't necessarily see him. There is a lot of activity going in and out of the room, so he could just be somewhere else.
His stealth is higher than mine.
After a few moments, General Greer comes by, and she holds out this book, and he quickly opens it up, and he says, "Do you have a quill?" She says, "Yes, sir." And so she hands him a quill, and he flips through a bunch of pages, and he starts writing your guys' names down. And
Is this like a hit list?
yes,
Oh.
you are now a hit. You're on a hit list.
Well, that's unfortunate.
We saved a town, and now we're on their list.
Yes. The town will run you out of town at this moment, and you will all die. Congratulations. Roll for initiative. No, so he writes the 4 of your guys' names down into this book, and he closes it, and he says, "Congratulations, you are now employed by the town. Your payment will be 250 gold pieces."
Was it 200 or 250?
250.
Yep. It didn't go up.
You are official messengers of Greenest at this moment.
Oh man, I've never had
Man.
2 jobs before.
Would that satisfy you?
No.
Okay. That being said,
he's very
I was like-
noble.
Oh, man. So Celestine's be like, so, not to confuse lines or anything, but we found this money on the kobolds, and
Celestine, maybe we should donate it to the Sanctuary of Shantea.
maybe that would work.
I think that they would know better who needs
That is an
needs the
excellent
funds.
point. That is an excellent point.
I was thinking about that as we were walking up here, but then we were here, and Lord Usarker started talking to
so
Governor Nighthill. So
Governor Nighthill looks up and says, "Did you say something?"
Nope.
Oh, okay.
No. Sorry, I'm just talking aloud, apparently.
we're brainstorming what we're doing while we're waiting for supplies and
Yes,
carrots to be ready.
That's what we're doing.
Of
yes.
course. We assumed that you needed a carriage and some horses, so we are preparing that for you. Give us about 30 minutes. We gotta hitch it up for you. Is there anything else that you need for this journey?
Will Kurt's body be transferred into the carriage?
I must find the body so I can gentle repose it
You-
eventually.
Exactly
must.
why I was asking.
Eventually.
Yeah. He says, we have not moved the body yet. It is still, you still see a corner. There's a significantly less amount of people, as at this moment you see maybe three bodies. I'll say 3 bodies. One of them is definitely the outline of Kurt.
You can see his feet poking up underneath the sheet.
Yeah, you can see his
The
feet.
tiny little sheet doesn't fit.
Yeah. And he says, yes, we can move the body. Would you wish to? Is there any specific funeral rites that you know of that he would want? Before he
the funeral
travels?
rites will be performed by his family in El Terrell. We just need to. Celestine, did you mention that you had something that you could help?
Yeah. I think I can help out with that.
Just try to make it so that his body doesn't smell too bad before his family
Gets
sees
it.
it again.
Of course.
If the smell is too much of an issue, then before we leave, we should visit the local apothecary and see if they have some agents. I can whip up something that will cleanse the smell, and I assume that your magic will do the job of preserving it. Otherwise, I am trained in preservation as well, formaldehyde and other
I don't think
materials.
the parents want their son preserved in formaldehyde, but thank you. I appreciate the offer. I think we're good.
sorry, Kurt. They're not his parents.
Oh, aunts
they
and
are his
uncle.
aunt and uncle.
I don't think his aunt and uncle want him preserved in formaldehyde either.
Yeah, I mean, his parents probably wouldn't want it either, but his parents died a long time ago.
I assume the options are that you will either magically make it happen,
Magic is great.
or it will rot.
The gods are very can't think of the right word, so we're just gonna move on past that.
In your pocket, perhaps.
Hey,
At your beck and call.
that's rude.
Hmm.
Izzy's just staying out of this.
I'm gonna go find Kurt's body.
Yes, I'm going to help you.
All right, so
we
at this
walk away.
point, Governor Nighthill has told you, you get whatever you need. You Celestine, if you still want that sensor, you probably will have to go to the sanctuary to grab that.
Oh,
But we're heading there anyways.
True, that's true. They didn't have stuff stolen because the doors were locked.
Yep.
Okay, yes, I'll do that. I thought I was gonna have to wait till I got to Berdusk.
No, you could probably get it at the sanctuary.
Good thing we're going to head there anyways.
Yeah, that's why we're going to the sanctuary.
Yes.
Of course.
I foresaw this.
Wesley, you said that you were going to go try and find Erica.
Yeah, so I think looking around at the various places, I probably find her like outside her house. I bet, kind of picking through things.
Yeah.
And there's probably a quiet moment or two where we do that together, and not necessarily saying much because there's not a lot to say in kind of this terrible, awful situation. But there's a time where it's like, Erica, I'm gonna have to go.
What?
There's the governor's sent me on a mission. I need to retrieve the relic that my family has been tasked with carrying. And I know we had plans, which they're gonna have to wait. But I promise I'll come back.
You're leaving? You're just leaving just like that? She kind of pauses and she takes in all the information and she sighs. She goes, it would be selfish for me to not want you to leave, wouldn't it?
No.
I've lost so many people. I don't know. I don't know where Selah is. I don't. What task is the governor making you do? That's such a great thing.
Well, I'm going. If it makes it any better, I'm going after the people who did this. It kind of sounds impossible, doesn't it? But I've fallen in with a group of heroes who helped preserve us. And we're gonna go, and we're gonna make this right.
She sighs again and she kind of leans up against you and she says, I don't want you to go, but you're going to do what you're going to do. That's how it always has been with us, huh?
Yeah. Well, I had planned on asking your father to, if we could get married, now that I was coming into my own with the shop, but, and I kind of gesture around and it's just like,
well, she leans down and you see that there's like a pack next to her, and she opens it up and it's a few belongings that she has from the house that didn't get taken. She rummages through it for a moment and she pulls out a small silver band. She says, well, this is his. So, yes?
Aww.
And she gives it to you and places it in your hand and she says, that means you can't die, right?
right. I take her hands in mine, like holding the ring kind of thing. I assume it's a ring. You said band.
Yeah.
I promise you with this ring that I will not die, that I will come back, and that we will get married, and that we will have a great and beautiful future.
Yes, we will. She wraps her arms around you and she whispers, come back to me, okay?
Okay.
Celestine,
Yes.
you were walking to Kurt's body, right?
Yep.
So as you're walking to Kurt's body, there are 3 guards who just saunter right in your path.
This sounds like a suspicious sauntering.
Like they're stopping in front of her, or they're just
They're
walking along and
They stopped
Casually
in front
keep
of her
walking. Okay.
and stopped her before you're about 10 feet away.
I'm right next to her, by the way.
What are you doing?
I was like,
Hello, gentlemen. What's up?
I would like to take the body of our fallen comrade, that we can take him to his home. She's I got a gist of what might be upsetting them. So I'll be saying, Izzy here is taking him back to El Terrell, but as you can see, she needs a little help carrying the body.
I'm
There.
not that strong.
What's your strength?
Not-
Actually, it's average.
Oh,
So
okay,
yeah,
okay.
I'm not that strong.
Yeah, not to
I'm
carry
not
a
like Lord
Kurt-sized
Pride
body.
with his strength.
So they don't look... So just so you guys know, they don't look like they're looking for a fight.
Mm-hmm.
There's no weapons in their hands. There's no
Oh, good. Okay. I was a little concerned.
menacing looks coming through,
Okay.
their helmets and whatnot, but they are tense. And the one in the middle says, I'm really confused right now. And I don't know what to do. I know who you are. I know your order. And yet, you managed to save this town, so I'm a little conflicted.
It's like,
It's because she's a good person. That's all you need to know.
Good people can do unmoral things, thinking it's the right thing to do.
That's not Celestine.
I tell him, however conflicted you are, I will be leaving town and you don't have to worry about me again.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Yeah, I'm not terrible. 10. I'm average.
Hooray!
That was dead average.
There's kind of the standoff for a few seconds. And the one on the left says, "My brother is under one of those sheets. You don't get to touch him.
I am just here for Kurt.
We're watching you." And they part and let you through.
Hope you have a wonderful day as well, gentlemen. And Izzy will walk forward, super confused, because she knows nothing about this.
So I see Izzy's confusion. I'm probably going to have to explain this later. This is probably going to come up later.
Yep. So you're at Kurt's body. They are standing behind you, watching your every move.
Really, really tempting to be sarcastic and ask them if they would like to help, but I'm not going to provoke them. We're just going to pick up the body and we're going to walk out.
Celestine is not worth it.
I know, but it's so tempting. Nope, I am a mature woman who still likes
You have
to...
how many children?
Yeah.
You are better than this.
Just trying to remember that. Trying to remember that.
Woman who revels in violence.
Yeah, there's that too. Not with the city she just saved, though. So, pick up Kurt's body, walk out.
Okay. Usarker, you see the two ladies walk over to the body, and Governor Nighthill hands you that large packet and says, This is an official requisition for the head magistrate of Berdusk. Their name is Adrastin Liamis. I do not know them personally, but the previous governor, he had a good relationship with them. And I'm hoping that we can continue this good relationship, and hopefully they can send us help, troops, anything to just help ease our burdens. Hopefully they didn't get hit either. And his shoulders slump, and he kind of rubs his temples, and he says, "Nobody prepares you for a total onslaught. This is horrible."
I'm going to examine the packet. How large is it?
It is, in modern terms, it's like legal paper size.
Okay. So it's paperwork and the like, it's not some other object or thing. Okay.
No. It's a packet, like an actual envelope with a wax seal with the governor's monogram on it. I think that's the right word, right? Monogram? The wax, the seal.
Insignia.
Insignia, thank you. With his insignia on it.
I will take care of these documents and see that they are given to Wesley when we arrive at Berdusk so that he may deliver them to the magistrate on your behalf.
Thank you. And make sure to, when you see Wesley, that I just need to... I need to do some extra things with him, so... Since he will be the official representative.
It's for the best. He may be young, but he's an actual citizen of the town, unlike the rest of us, and will be better able to represent it, and he seems to have a good head on his shoulders.
From what his father has said, I agree. And I sure hope he finds whatever he happened to lose last night, or a few nights ago.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm very exhausted still.
Yes, I've noticed. And I am grateful that you have, at least in part, seemed to have been taking my advice.
Yeah, it's hard to sleep when your town is suffering, unfortunately.
It is. It is also hard to help when you are incapable of acting and thinking accordingly.
The paradox.
Mm-hmm.
It's also hard when you have a mother-in-law who won't stop talking.
It is true.
I
Out of
have
character.
prescriptions for that.
Oh, good. Are you going to go to the apothecary and help out with that, too?
Is there anything else that you need? We'll put some extra provisions in there. We will put, flour and water for you guys. Luckily, our flour stores are safe because of you guys. And unfortunately, there's not much more produce we can give. A lot of it was burned.
We have provisions. We have... How many horses are on this carriage? Is it a 1-horse, 2-horse?
It's a 2-horse.
We have provisions. We have 2 horses. We cannot ask too much more of you since you need it as much or more than we do. I can think of nothing else that I personally would ask for.
Thank you. Thank you for all your help. And he nods at you and turns back to his map of the area. He says, let me know when you're off.
Very well. Hopefully it will be shortly. I will be sure to send Wesley your way.
Thank you.
I'm going to go out and look for Wesley at this point.
Okay.
So you probably will walk out the gate and yep, here we are.
Yeah, I point you in the direction of Governor Nighthill.
Hi folks, Ashlyn here with a quick announcement. From everyone here at Powered Crit, we want to thank you for listening and supporting the show. And just like adventurers who sometimes need a little help with fighting the BBEG, we need your help too. By telling your friends about Powered Crit, not only will it give you a DM inspiration, but it'll also help me, you, to level up to 20. So, here's the plan. Between episode releases, each person who tweets about the show and uses the hashtag PowerWordCrit will give you a shout out in an upcoming episode. Thanks, and on with the show.
So Governor Nighthill ends up giving you a token that you can put on your vest or on your shirt that just represents, I'm a representative of Greenest. It's the official, coat of arms of Greenest kind of a thing. He gives you some instructions on how to speak to the head magistrate and what to expect with them. He also mentions, so the magistrate has, from what I've heard, a very intense bodyguard who has a very interesting birthmark. Don't stare. I don't know what it looks like, but I've heard people stare. Just don't stare. He does not like that.
So I think we established previously that Wesley had been to Berdusk.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he's probably heard about this birthmark. And is going to be like, just, play it straight. Yes, sir, of course. And internally, probably laughing at it because it's a hilarious thing, of course. Yes, sir, of course. I think I've heard about him. And
many have.
Yeah, there's that's generally the consensus is don't stare at the bodyguard.
Good. I'm glad everyone knows this. Hopefully.
Izzy does not.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, for this honor. I'll do my best.
Thank you, son. And he does tell you about, the 250 gold pieces that you are now an official employee of Greenest.
Welcome to your second job.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Cool.
Celestine and Izzy, you managed to get Kurt's body onto the carriage.
Sanctuary. I will
gentle repose.
I will gentle repose outside the city.
Okay. Is there a reason for that?
The guards are still following you.
Okay.
Ask me later.
Oh, okay. I don't know how any of this works. Maybe you just need a lot of a space, and it's not good to do it inside
it's delicate.
town walls or something.
It's
okay,
delicate. I'll explain later. We're just leaving
Perhaps
Kurt's
do
body here.
weird profane rituals.
Perhaps we could do it at the
Are
pillow
you with
forts.
us right now?
Yeah.
I look shocked. What? Oh, no. I just can't explain it right now.
Yes,
Just acting
yes.
weird.
I think she just
They
needs
are
lots
rituals,
of space.
and they are dealing with the gods. In this case,
you
her
with
god
us
is a
too?
god
I
of
thought we separated
war.
at one point.
One of the guards leans over to you, Wesley, and says, keep a close eye on that one. She's not to be trusted.
Actually, I have it on good authority that she is.
You see a moment of hurt cross.
He looks kind of shocked for a moment.
You see a moment of hurt cross Celestine's face with the guard's words, but she quickly hides it.
I'm sure the guard actually doesn't believe Wesley because unless the guard is younger than Wesley, the guard probably thinks that Wesley is
A young one.
young
He's
and
young.
not knowledgeable about
Young
what's
upstart.
going on.
Young lad.
Well, he's probably hurt that, he's grown up knowing you your whole life, and now you're sticking up for this random person instead of him.
Oh, that's a good point. This is a small town.
Yep.
Forgot about that part. Yes.
Yep.
Yay, small town dynamic.
You don't know this guy.
I know this guy.
Now,
I
Greenest is a
knew.
population of 900 people.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like a podunk town. It's still small. But yeah,
but new people come in. all the
you
time.
may have seen this guy in the market, but you've
Okay.
never actually talked to this guy ever.
Oh, okay. We're good. Not breaking friendships here.
Right. So,
dear.
as you guys gather your stuff, Celestine, you said you wanted to go to Sanctuary.
Of Shantea.
Is that like on the way out?
It's close by because we were
It
able
is
to
close.
run there.
It's like,
Okay.
according to the book, it's
That's
200 feet away.
That's fair. That is true.
I don't know if we should trust that.
It's a small town.
Small town. You
The
totally
very-
needed horses to get there very quickly.
small
Yeah,
town for
smaller than I thought it
900
was.
people.
So you managed to get to the Sanctuary of Chantea. The priest graciously gives you a censer and also gives you some incense worth 25 gold pieces,
Yes.
saying, "Thank you for everything that you have done. We are so glad that you saved this area. This is," and they get a little teary-eyed. This has been my home for 75 years, and I'm just so glad.
I'm more than happy that we could help. So we have a donation to make. Will you make sure that it gets sent throughout the populace to make sure that people don't go hungry?
Of course.
I would like to also add to this donation.
All
I
right.
hand him 62 gold.
He looks stunned. Like, oh,
Like-
oh my gosh. Thank you.
It-
I will definitely make sure that this gets to the right people.
Okay.
And because Izzy likes to be even, she's just going to hand him 60 gold.
I'm going to after Izzy.
He's just befuddled.
After Izzy hands him the 60 gold. I'm going.
Are
to
you with
kind of-
us?
I am.
I know, right?
Yes.
I'm like,
You went
Am
with
I
us
not?
to the sanctuary?
Am I not?
Okay, so let's back up. You all
Why
loaded
would I
every-
not be here?
So you
don't
all
like
loaded
churches.
you all loaded Kurt's body on the carriage. You
We're
all
all-
went to the sanctuary.
We're all heading off. We're getting ready
Okay.
to leave.
It's
I
like
assumed
probably
that
on
we
the
were going-
road on the way out of
Okay.
town.
I am going on this adventure.
I thought we were going to make a quick
Side trip
there and then come back. to where the
Everyone is
carriage
together.
Okay. We will not split the party.
Never again will we split the party. Because then Usarker will go sleep in a dark corner and to avoid children who thinks he's a vampire. We can't have that anymore. So we each gave, well, you gave 62, I gave 60. You got your censer and some incense worth 25 gold.
Yep. And off to the carriage we go.
And we're going back. And there's nothing that Izzy needs. She's ready to go.
I think we're good.
Okay. So as you guys are leaving town, a person on a horse comes up to you just to see you out, and it's the General Greer. And she says, I'm gonna make sure that you guys get out of the town area, if that's all right.
Okay.
Okay.
And she kind of trots by you guys. As you reach the edge of the farms, because there's farmland all over the place. As you reach the edge of the last farm, she turns to Izzy and she says, would it be okay if you deliver a letter for me in Berdusk?
Yes,
As
of
well?
course.
I have a brother. His name is Dimitri. He lives in the Rose Lamp district. He's a baker, and the shop is the Bear Claw Bakery.
Okay. I think I know of that place. I traveled through Berdusk on the way here, so.
Yeah, you probably would have heard it in that Rose Lamp district area.
Mm-hmm.
That the Rose Lamp district area is very travel heavy, and that's usually where people stay.
Okay.
So you probably would have heard of it, or at least passed it. And she says, thank you so much. I don't know if he's okay, but I just want to make sure that he hears from me that we're okay.
Okay. I can do that.
Thank you. And she waves you off. All right, so now
I gentle repose the body now that there's no one here and nothing sketchy happens. It's a normal, gentle repose.
A normal
does it look
profane
like?
ritual.
No! Sarker can think what he wants, but for our listeners, it is a very normal, gentle repose spell
Well-
that keeps him from decaying for 7 days, and he can't be raised from the dead.
What does it look like, Kayla, though?
Oh, that's true.
None of us have ever seen a gentle repose spell.
Let alone one done by a priest of Tempest.
Dang it, I hadn't thought about this. So I hold out my holy symbol, which is a symbol of Tempest. I have a necklace with it. And so I pulled off. You also see that on there is there's a second symbol, or a emblem, and it's of a skull with a sword in it. So there's 2 emblems on there. And so I take the sword one, and I kneel over the body. It's a simple prayer to Tempest to watch over the body to preserve it so it may be safe, and that his family will find comfort in the fact that it has not decayed when we get there. The emblem lights up a bit as much as it can in sunlight. There's a little glow around Kurt's body, and then goes back to normal.
Cool. That was very beautiful. Thank you, Celestine.
You're welcome. So, do we want to travel on till nightfall, and then I'll explain?
I think that we should make us get as far as we can on this.
Mm-hmm.
No sense in dallying.
I think, since we're in a carriage together, right?
What kind of carriage is this?
I actually didn't think of the arrangements, so I'm not sure where the body's at.
Yeah, I was
I'm
thinking,
not
it's
sure
like,
where
is
we're
he
at.
sitting there too?
I'm thinking that this is a carriage, so you load the luggage on top of it or behind it.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's a closed carriage, not an open carriage.
How about we'll
Yep.
say it's one of those Oregon Trail wagons?
I like to think that it has blackout curtains
Mhm.
for a certain
He has high
you know,
standards.
nobleman with pale skin.
Yeah. So at this point, I'm going to
Do
need
you
to
suffer
know.
from migraines? And you would just avoid the sunlight?
It does get bright periodically.
So, just so you guys know, we're going to say it's going to look like an Oregon Trail wagon.
Okay,
With blackout
so a
curtains.
covered wagon.
A covered wagon. We'll
Okay,
call
okay,
it that.
cool.
A covered
So there's more
carriage.
than enough room for everybody.
Which is not
Okay.
a
Yeah.
carriage.
It's also very
Yeah.
uncomfortable. Those are always very, very comfortable to ride in anyway.
And they're not fast.
And
Yeah.
no, they're not fast. So,
They're usually
um,
also not carried by horses, but it's okay.
This one
it's a
is.
smaller one.
It's a
This
covered
one
wagon
is-
carriage.
It's a
Light,
hand
made
cart.
for speed.
It is
Yes.
not a handcart. Celestine is not handcarting this thing.
A racing wagon.
No, it's
with
not
red
that either.
stripes.
Okay, so it sounds like I can probably just tell the story from the back.
Yeah. So first of all, I need to know where you guys are sitting. There's two people who can sit with the horses, and then there's room for all four of you in the back.
I want to
if you wanna
drive.
be there.
I volunteered to drive.
Okay, we got one driver.
You want shotgun?
If no one else volunteers, then I will.
Izzy's also in front. Are you two walking? Are you in the carriage with the body?
I'm in the carriage.
That's right. You have blackout curtains.
Right.
Where's Wesley?
I think Wesley's maybe sitting on the back, looking back towards home.
Okay. Cool. So that being said, we get to roll for random encounters.
Yay.
Oh my goodness.
First up, Usurker, I'm going to have you roll first. Go ahead and roll a d20. And let me know what you get.
That is a 15.
Sword behind.
All right.
The
Okay.
best random encounter.
So, you guys, it's about half a day that you guys have been traveling at this point. Everything seems to be totally fine. You don't really run into anybody on the trail at all.
As we're going along, Lord Usarker would take the opportunity to get to know our newest party member. So tell me about yourself. I know that you are Wesley. I know that your parents live in town, and I know that a fang was stolen from you. I've heard rumors of sorceress blood running through your veins, perhaps. But aside from that,
Yeah, my family owns the Eldritch Exchange, which is a general store. We carry all kinds of wonderful things, most of which are gone now. And I was due to come into my own recently and begin my upkeep of the store and taking care of that. But up till this point, I had been traveling around between other towns. I had a dream of being a great bard and becoming famous and doing wonderful, amazing things like that. And I'm a fair player myself and can tell a good tale. I might be able to get us places to stay and things like that in some of the inns in the local area anyways. But I do have a hand at magic. It's not something that I've studied, but it just happens.
you're
Sometimes.
one of those innate wild talents then.
Yeah, I guess you could say so.
There are a few varieties of magic. I don't claim to be an expert, but people with interesting heritages are sometimes the best candidates for such things. Do you know anything about the nature of your magic, or is it a mystery?
I think that he maybe rubs his arm a little bit and seems a little defensive. He is wearing like long sleeves and like a high neck kind of jerkin and things. You don't see a lot of skin on him necessarily. You might go as far as say that it's concealing.
What are you hiding? Blades all over your body.
Of course. Yes.
Sorcerer, bard, rogue, there's hidden knives everywhere.
What an absurd statement.
I mean, we are level 3. I could do all that.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I don't really know where it came from necessarily. There's stories that have passed down and such, and there is, I mentioned the artifact that I'm going after. It came from a golden dragon, but no relation.
For the best. Dragons have a bad habit of living a long time and checking in on their descendants.
Yeah.
So tell me, do you have good control over this magic?
Yeah, I would say so, yes. It hasn't always been the case, and I've had to talk my way out of many trouble and get away quickly from what I couldn't talk my way out of. But I have a good handle on it now.
Excellent. I will tell you that I like to learn the capabilities of those who I travel with in order to coordinate, synchronize, and strategize. So anything that you care to tell me about this would be of interest to me so that I can come up with how we can utilize you as we formulate our positions and training in the group.
I will tell you that I do have an affinity for fire. I mean, it seems kind of ironic in the things that have happened recently, but
fire is beloved of the enemy, but it can be a friend.
Yeah. And oftentimes I'll summon up a bonfire to tell stories around and engage in my performances and such. So that is something that you can certainly count on.
Excellent. I think that we continue a pace like that. Usarker is actually fairly prying about some things, but at the same time, he has a very good insight, honestly. And he doesn't really want to make him uncomfortable. He just wants to kind of learn who he is and what kind of an asset he will be in a fight. And also a little bit of, is this somebody who he's going to be a liability in a fight? Because I haven't seen him fight, so I don't know what type of fighting he is. But he is clearly rushing headlong into, combat.
So I think that you can probably see that he is not a young man who is very strapping. He, in fact, looks a little shy on the muscle. For all those listening, mechanically, he has a -1 to his strength, with a strength of 8.
Izzy can beat you in pull-ups.
Yes. I mean, she's a warrior.
Izzy can do a pull-up.
But I think he definitely aims to keep near the back and provide support, whether through combat magic or things such as fog cloud and like hold person.
Ooh, nice.
Cool. Very cool.
So,
Okay.
I think maybe he spun out a tale where he was able to, is being chased and summoned up a fog just inherently, and there was another tight bit where somebody was about to strike someone else, and he was able to do hold person on them, kind of thing, to keep it from happening and let the other person get away or something.
Very cool.
Cool. Celestine, you wanted to talk?
I'm okay if we want to wait until evening and do it around the fire.
Okay.
Just so there's no interruptions or anything.
Counter time.
Yeah, let's have some action.
So, is there anything else you guys want to do during the travel before you set up camp?
No.
Nope. All right.
I think Wesley probably asked a bunch of questions about Usarker, but it's mostly stuff that we've already learned.
Perfect. I think at some point, Usarker starts to go through his notes that he took from our encounter in Greenest and talks about things that happened and, things that we did that worked and things that we did that didn't work, and, asks for ideas and strategies just as we're going along.
Okay. Cool. As you guys are setting up camp, you hear
Is this like a small pigeon noise or is this a big bird noise?
It's a big bird noise.
Okay.
Do I recognize this noise? Did I hear it on my way from Berdusk to Greenest previously? From like
Make a
3 days
nature
ago?
check.
Pigeon. Dire.
Dire
Like-
pigeon, yeah. No.
Oh gosh.
I
Terrifying.
I've
said
heard
a
about
nature
these.
check.
Yes.
11.
You think that you've heard this before. It sounds kind of like an owl,
Hooty
but
hoot.
a little bit deeper.
A little throaty.
Kind of pigeony as well.
How close does it sound?
Where you guys set up camp, you guys are kind of by a line of trees,
Okay.
and you do hear it that it's just past a few bushes.
I am on the lookout to see what is out there.
Okay, go ahead and
Yeah,
make a
so-
perception check.
Use my portal dice. Dang it.
Oh no.
Failed me. 2. Oh.
This is definitely a werewolf.
Oh gosh.
Ah,
Oh,
a were
no.
pigeon.
Oh no. Do we have a
I
panic?
think,
We
I
have a
think
panic,
we
Lizzie.
have some trouble.
Oh no.
I don't even know what werewolves should look like, but I think this is a werewolf. I've heard about them.
Isidore.
I don't think werewolves hoot. You heard that, right?
You hear rustling in the bushes.
I think werewolves howl.
Uh,
However, we should take a look at this, I say. I'm
you
going
guys
to go
do
ahead
hear
and
it as well.
I'm
gonna
going
go
to
ahead
draw
and-
out my scimitars.
I'm gonna
Get ready to poke at it.
This
I'm
feels like
I'm gonna
checking
start
under the
looking
bed.
about the area.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
This feels like when Celestine had to check under her children's bed, make sure there's nothing there.
There are no monsters under your
I
bed.
rolled a 15, which I have +4 to, so 19.
Ooh.
Of course.
You spotted immediately. Izzy must just be very tired from the day. Definitely not a werewolf. What you see is a baby owlbear
What?
who has pigeon-like fur,
So
feathers.
Down.
Pigeon fur.
David, the player, is thinking one thing, but I suppose I ought to roll a Arcana for Usarker, because
Figure out what it is.
to know anything about owlbears,
Nature.
Would it be Arcana or would it be Nature?
aren't they monstrosities?
uh,
They're not
Good
natural.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah, that's
concerned
true.
about where it came from then.
They're the epitome of a wizard made it.
Wait, so they don't have mommy owlbears?
Oh, sure they do,
I think
but
they're
original.
They're kind of an invasive species,
So yes.
so
okay.
they probably do have mommy owlbears.
Just making sure.
So yeah, go ahead and make either a Nature or Arcana, whichever one is higher for you.
It's gonna be the same.
You're so smart, Usarker.
I got a 6, so I
Oh.
suspect I know very little about owlbears.
Never mind.
this
It
is
has
a
an
baby
owl
creature.
head and a bear body.
I
Good
have
job.
never seen
And it kinda
a
looks
creature
pigeony.
like this before. It is. The rest of you should take a look at this. However, it looks to be. Can I identify that this appears to be young? Like, is that something I can tell?
It comes up to like your knees.
This
it's
looks
very
like a young animal, and half of that animal is a bear, which is always bad.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You said it was a young one?
Yes, if you look over here, it appears the body of a bear cub. I say, I'm not getting too close to this.
Yeah.
Thing now that I've seen it, I'm
Don't-
kind of staying back near the campfire.
You hear about 10 feet away another.
Oh no. Wait, why are there
Is this one the same the same volume?
size?
Yes.
There's babies, multiple babies. Oh no.
I think that
Uh,
do
You
I
hear
do I
more.
I
How
can make a
many
a
are
loud
there?
noise to like try and scare it away.
or we could just go another mile down the road.
How much set up are we?
Oh.
I'm envisioning that like we were like in the middle of
Right.
making camp. Like the horses are away from the carriage and like starting to pull some stuff
So
out.
this would be a lot of work, but I don't want to deal with a mommy
Hmm.
bear.
Some animals dislike fire. Do you think that perhaps?
Yeah.
Do you know any? Like,
where
that's
we
a
were
lot of fire.
where we were
Okay.
planning on having our fire pit, I cast Create Bonfire.
At that, you hear, and all of a sudden you hear, and you hear two of them
Okay.
run away.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I need to do a survival check. Or is anyone good at survival? Just to make sure that,
And
Prince
I've been
Mommy
out
Bear...
and about, but
Not me.
I think Kurt's good at survival.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he's in any.
I'll do,
any
He was
stage
good.
to help.
I'll do
Can we
an
consult the
expert.
Ouija board?
Kurt,
A little help here.
Yeah.
can
So
you drag it
dead.
for us?
You're probably the. I don't know. Does anybody have a better check than Celestine?
I've got +1.
Yeah, I think
Celestine,
Celestine's
since
our
you
best.
asked for it,
Uh-huh.
go ahead and do a survival check.
18.
Yay.
Okay.
And what are you looking for?
Basically, figure out where they came from, so I can figure out if there's mommy bear tracks or anything.
Heard it.
If we need to move
If
on.
we need to move.
Oh, put camp elsewhere.
Yep.
So, usually if there's cubs,
Mhm.
there is a mama nearby.
Uh-huh.
However, you don't see any mama bear tracks near where you are. You don't see it in the underbrush. And the fact that the cubs, didn't come out claws
That's true.
out and all that, you can gather that either they were curious about you guys or maybe they were hungry. However, as you follow the tracks, they go well past. They are no longer
Okay.
interested in you. You've
But where
scared
do
them
they-
sufficiently.
Okay, so they came from, way elsewhere as well, right?
You walk for about 10 minutes and you
Uh-huh.
see that they just keep going. So you don't think, unless, revenge happens,
Okay.
you don't think they're going to come
How
back.
dare you scare
Okay.
me and my child?
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna come back to camp and say I don't see any sign of a mother owlbear, and the babies seem to have run off in that direction, so we should be good for the night.
That does seem like a very apt name for it, an owl bear.
They
Mm-hmm.
looked a little pigeony.
Pigeon bear.
Pigeon bear. Bird
Maybe
bear.
the cubs look
bear,
more
yeah.
like pigeons and then they
Bird bear.
get a little more
They're little
owl-like
bird
when they get older.
bears.
Yeah, bird bears.
I can't help feeling like the governor might have better luck if he used homing pigeon bears. They would probably be more defensible.
Those messages are not getting waylaid. That's all I'm saying.
It's true. DM writes notes.
Yes.
I'm not
Thank you
sure
for these
that
wonderful ideas, players.
that was a natural creature, and who knows what its proclivities are. They may
Hmm.
not make great pets.
What if they actually were werewolves, though? They were just in disguise.
I didn't see anything wolf-like about
I don't
them,
know.
Izzy.
I'm just trying to save face here.
Like vampires, werewolves are talked about a lot more often than they show up.
Oh, you would know, wouldn't you?
Apparently, I know more about such things than certain people around the region.
Okay.
We'll take it.
That was neither a confirmation nor a denial.
So you guys managed to set up the rest of camp. You do hear normal owl hoots. You don't really hear any owl bear hoots.
Okay.
Or pigeons.
As if we could tell the difference.
Oh,
I think there's a
without
definite
Kurt-
We
throat.
can now.
Ooh, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
your campfire's all set up. You've all eaten dinner.
So, Celestine, what was up with those guards today? Why were they so mean to you?
So I've taken off my habit so you can actually see my emblem on my pauldron. So I've got the emblem of Tempest and the emblem of this other thing. And so I say, have you, well, let me tell you a story.
Okay.
And so my habit, I kind of quickly sewed it the other night, so I'm just going to more carefully start sewing it back together as I tell this story.
Izzy is impressed that you're able to multitask this.
This is a story of the clerics of Tempest. There was a time in the history of the Sword Coast where there were wars occurring everywhere. The priests and clerics of Tempest were busy, being assigned all over the continent. There was a lot of death occurring. There was a particularly nasty war occurring far east. Tempest sent a battalion of clerics to the city on the edge of this warfare to fight an enemy most foul. A lich had grown into power and had accumulated an army of undead. This Lich, whose name has been forgotten, was intent on taking over the Sword Coast, killing everyone so he could bring them back from the dead and enslave the entire area. He had gathered numerous zombies, skeletons, ghast, and ghouls, vampires, and even an occasional Berdusk, forcing the dead to return from their rightful rest to fight for him. These clerics were sent to the city of Arabelle. Try as they might, they just couldn't stem the flow of the undead coming. Now, losing in a battle for Tempest is not dishonorable. The only thing that really matters is that you fought well. But these clerics had allowed their feelings to get involved. They couldn't bear the idea that the undead would break through and take over the city and beyond. They knew that the people would be destroyed. They also knew that their comrades who had fallen in battle would be raised from their rightful rest to serve and fight for this necromantic lich. So, in a moment of desperation, they called upon their fallen comrades to fight against this evil and to assist them with this battle. They raised the soldiers of the area that had fallen. They raised the undead that had been felled. They rallied the citizens and pressed forward, invigorated with this new hope. The battles were rough, the tolls were high, but in the end, people managed to push back the evil. A small band of the clerics of Tempest managed to find the Lich and strike him down. With the necromancer dead and unable to continue to raise the dead, the people were able to fight back the evil. With the war won, the clerics laid to rest the dead and took their fallen comrades back to be buried by their families, or if they had none, the church. These clerics formed an order within the Church of Tempest. They named their order after the city where this turning point occurred, the Order after the Battle of Arabelle, or the Order of Arabelle. They became known for raising the dead to assist with their battles. In their creed, they vowed that they would never force the dead to fight, thus they only ever raised the bodies of those that had come to fight. They never raised the bodies of innocent civilians, as this would make them no better than the evil that they fought against in the first place. Unfortunately, as the years wore on, rumors flew. The Order became known for raising the dead, and it was rumored that they would raise anyone to fight their battles, desecrating graves and leaving your loved ones out to rot after the battles were won. Now the clerics often wear coverings, I show the habit, so as not to be immediately identified as from the Order of Arabelle, as there are people that believe these rumors and will act rashly sometimes. And so that is the history of my order, and I gesture to the emblem of the skull with the sword through it.
That explains why the guard was so standoffish.
Yes, apparently he believed the rumors, unfortunately.
Well, you definitely have shown and proven yourself to not be what those rumors say that your order is. So I believe you.
I'm honored. Thank you for believing me. I know in this day, it's very hard to believe this story sometimes, apparently.
Corrin, would it be okay if my character has a fairly broad knowledge of history? Could I roll a history check to see if I'd heard this story before or possibly had even identified that she belonged to that order?
Yeah.
I would like to use my third level ability, Tactical Assessment, on that.
What does that do?
That is a maneuver, which means that it gives me a combat superiority dice of a D8, which I can add to the roll.
Nice.
Ooh. He rolls a 28.
I mean, that would be nice. I will suffice for getting a total of 20... What is my history? Plus 6? 26.
Okay,
So close.
Wow.
Yeah.
You may have heard this, maybe.
Yeah, you have definitely heard about this in your studies. This is all pretty close to what was written in your history books. You do know that some of your history books were biased against this, so you do understand why some people would be upset with this. But there are others that were older that just recorded what the actual event was, that were just straight to the point. So yeah, you've definitely heard about this.
Celestine, you've been a staunch ally of ours. I myself have periodically been accused of being rather macabre, and so I can understand, perhaps, a little bit the trouble that you have. Thank you for sharing that with us, though.
Yes, I if we're going to be traveling for a bit, I wanted to make sure that everyone understood and accepts it. If not, then I can go.
Dark past sharing time. Isidore, you're next.
Okay. Izzy can't think of anything. She's like, these are all like super serious things, and she's suddenly realizing she actually had an okay childhood, despite living in like growing up in the orphanage and stuff. So she might just be like, well, I mean, I didn't know my parents. I was left in an orphanage when I was a baby, but that wasn't really dark. I mean, that was just my life.
So after you were left at an orphanage, you obviously didn't stay there.
No, I was recruited for my ability to create things with fine metal, and I received an apprenticeship with Malachi Prazio. He is the master to my apprenticeship, and I have been living with his family these last couple of decades.
Are the Prazios related to this, I'm sorry, I've forgotten the name, but this kidnapped person?
Yes, Jaden is their son.
Ah, and Jaden and Kurt are cousins?
Yes, they were cousins. They were almost like brothers because they were very close. They grew up together, and they would always get into the craziest shenanigans, but yes, by blood they were cousins, but in spirit they were brothers.
So, Celestine, have you raised anyone from the dead?
Wesley asking the real questions.
I mean, all the dark and weird stuff aside,
so Celestine's going to answer and say, "Oh no, I'm not nearly practiced enough. I haven't reached that order of the order yet."
Okay, yeah, I'm just curious. You seem to have a very ornate and
Yep, in training.
Yeah, okay.
But you probably know the theory behind it.
Oh yeah, definitely. We've been taught the theory, but until I have been blessed by my God to do such things, I have not reached that level yet.
Okay.
Quite literally that
Yeah.
level. AKA 2 more levels. So level 5. Got it.
5.
And I mean, I talked to Lord Asarka earlier on our travels, but among my experience in the business world,
Yay! Welcome, fellow business person.
yes.
By the way, do you want to buy any like necklaces or bracelets or anything? I have a lot, and
I don't have
show
any
off
money.
My belt.
That's a problem.
Yes. And my
That's
town
okay.
just got looted.
That's a good point.
But I spent the rounds doing various performances at the various inns with a couple of friends. We might run into them as we go about.
Ooh, nice.
I had wonderful renowned violinist and spun many good songs, but I don't have my instrument any longer. I feel that was lost in the battle.
I'm sorry to hear that, Wesley. I would have loved to hear something. Out of character, Ashlyn really wants to know if Ander is making Wesley part of a boy band.
That's funny. I had imagined him as part of just a handful of guys who, like, I guess boy band is like if they were all singers.
I mean, a band doesn't have to be just singing. They could play instruments.
They could
It's
be
a band.
a boy rock band. I mean, it's not usually called a boy band, but
Yeah. Sure. We'll do that. Maybe not a boy band in the traditional sense.
Traditional being out of game or in game.
That's true.
Yes. Yes.
Both.
Thank you for making that clear.
Well, it's like, and we weren't all male.
Okay.
There was
a turtle you never knew.
probably, yeah. It's Bus. Bus was our drummer.
There we go.
We never really bus didn't talk a lot. Mostly stuck to their drumming, and there were a couple of us. I'm hoping to run into my good friend Jack in Berdusk. That's where I heard he was headed, and we had many a good time there.
As you guys sleep throughout the night,
We're taking watches.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
we
your
are.
watches-
Those pigeon bears have me a little spooked, especially since I think that they might be werewolves in disguise.
of course.
And tomorrow night I'm gonna have to ask Usarker about his family because I forgot.
You missed.
I missed.
You got
So-
distracted by Wesley's questioning about if you've raised the dead before.
Yep.
You know,
it's
if
true.
I weren't absolutely terrified of what owlbears would do to a third level party, a mama owlbear, yeah, we missed. And if we had, say, Kurt in the party, we missed a great chance to, collect one and then have the party mascot Spooky the owlbear.
Oh man, that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
So as you guys take watches, nothing happens. The owlbear cubs don't return. Mama doesn't come by. And the next day, you have the day to do whatever you like.
You mean travel?
Yes.
Yeah.
On the road again.
However-
On the road again.
Izzy, I need you to roll a random encounter. Please
Okay.
roll a d20.
That's a 9.
Excellent.
Okay.
Remember, good and bad means nothing. It's just whatever order
It's
she listed things in.
True.
All right. So you guys make it about 2.5 hours into your trek, and you go over a small hill, and at the bottom of the hill, you just see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cows blocking the path.
Oh no.
That's a lot of cows.
Characters have died from such
We-
things.
Got milk?
Can we try making the sound of a pigeon bear and see if that scares them off?
Do these appear to be wild cows?
Oh, that's a good
or are
point.
there sheepdogs and, ranchers and things like that?
Do they appear to be tagged? And have numbers painted on their hinds.
All of you
Brandon.
go ahead and make perception checks on these cows, since all of you are staring at these cows.
Look
Very
at those
intently.
cows.
Celestine got a 15.
13.
6.
Also 6.
Good job,
So they do
Celestine.
look to be
Yay.
tagged.
Oh, okay.
Celestine, what did you get, Izzy?
13.
So Celestine and Izzy, they do appear to be tagged, but you don't see any sheep herding dogs. You don't see any farmers. There's just a herd of cows right in your path.
Oh boy. Well,
Hey Wesley, you think you might be able to encourage some of these cows to move a little faster with some fire? Maybe not as explosive
Let's
as
not
yesterday.
stampede.
that might. Can we just shove her? Can we shove our way through?
But-
At least
No.
try. Okay. Well.
Just to encourage them away from the road.
We could try wolf howling imitations.
So let me rephrase that. If it was just you guys walking, you could go through this.
Right, but it's 'cause it's
because you have the
you-
carriage, you can't do
The
that.
covered wagon.
Because the area on the side is not fit for.
Well,
And there's hundreds of them. They just span.
It's like a sea of cows.
It's a sea of cows.
Sea of cow sea.
the cow sea.
I remember hearing stories of this. The
Maybe
great
it's-
inland cow sea.
Or it's the calf sea.
Only if there's
The sea of calves.
The wall of leather.
can I do a battle whoop?
Yeah, go ahead and do a battle whoop.
Let's do an intimidation / animal handling.
Yeah, I think animal handling is probably the one we want to do.
Yeah.
Intimidation might be bad.
Go on, cow! Move out of the way! I believe in you.
6. That's not going well. I end up in a coughing fit.
So I rolled.
Oh, man.
Oh, the cows roll lower than a 6.
Did he roll a 1?
Are we about to be murdered by
Oh, no.
watermelon
Oh,
pumpkins?
Oh no.
They're murder cows!
I need everybody to roll initiative next time.
What the heck?
Mm.
We're fighting cows?
What kind of cows are these? These bears
These
just.
cows
Oh, I'm gonna
belong to
feel really
someone.
bad about killing these cows.
You'll feel really bad when these cows kill you.
That's true.
I think that bonfire sounds
Oh,
pretty
no.
good right about now.
It does. It sounds
Yeah.
great.
Let's do something.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Power Word Crit. Stay tuned for more adventure on powerwordcrit.com or your favorite podcast streaming site.